Hello and welcome to another episode of Down the Track. Today we will be reviewing the one-sided game between Punjab and Bangalore. Um, Kind of unexpected in terms of the way the game finished. I mean, we both had Punjab to win the game as of yesterday, but we didn't expect this to be such a one-sided affair. I mean, in terms of just completely losing by more than like 97 runs defeat for Bangalore, somewhat demoralizing. But what are your initial thoughts on this?
Oh, I mean, what an innings by KL Rahul. But I think RCB were still in the game until the last four overs. When Virat Kohli dropped those two catches, we'll get into that in further detail.
Yeah,
But once he dropped those two catches, after that, the game just went away from them. I think they got
absolutely.
demoralized. I think under 160, 170 on that pitch, RCB could have chased it. With the fact that it went 200, they should have still given it a fight. They got hammered. Not only did they couldn't they chase the total? They couldn't chase Rahul's total, like a
Yeah.
132.
Yeah.
Like Rahul beats RCB by like 30 runs. That should be our headline, or 25 runs. So, I mean, like, I think those last four overs, I think 72, 74 runs in those last four overs. I think you said two overs went for 49, the last two.
Yeah. Yeah.
So death bowling, like you've always maintained this even through the previews, that RCB's death bowling worries you, and that's what happened today. Virat Kohli again, questionable captaincy. He gave Dubey the last over, and Stein, he kept two for Stein. Yes, Stein is an amazing bowler, but he's past his peak. So someone like Saini, who's bowling really well, he should have kept two overs for him. But that innings from Rahul, absolutely spectacular. The way he was crunching it, it was just amazing to watch. Unbelievable talent, and now he's showing what he has. Like, he's not
Yeah.
throwing away those wickets. And once he got those two lives, he just punished them. I think he hit 40 or 50 runs after those. Just absolutely brilliant batting, striking at 190. That's what I'm saying. They were a bit slow in the middle overs. RCB pulled it back, but then the last four overs destroyed RCB's confidence.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think all the points were pretty clear. Just that the moment Virat dropped those two catches, I think that I mean the first one, of course, out of nowhere. I mean, it was quite simple. It was in one of the. I mean, you expect the likes of Virat Kohli, who is an absolutely incredible fielder, to even to never like drop that. Even it was funny because KL Rahul wasn't even looking. He was putting his head down and started to kind of just walk back or something. He didn't even look to catch the. And then suddenly Virat drops it, and then he starts taking the run because he never expected Virat to drop it too. So kind of off that, and then I just felt like the team completely got demoralized after that. I mean, yes, it was incredible batting, but some very ordinary bowling as well. And like you mentioned, I've been worried about this team's. Bowling in the death over. I think the likes of Chris Morris, I believe he's coming off of a small injury. He should be ready soon. Uh, him bringing in maybe, or even Moin Ali. I don't think Philippe was
Yeah,
even
you
a
said
smart
this
idea
even after the beat
in the first
Sunrisers.
game.
They should do
Yeah.
that swap, and today it's very clear that they probably need to do that swap.
The only thing is because Felipe is that wicketkeeper, I don't know how they're going to inculcate Partha Patel into this team because I'm sure they want Patel to continue playing even though he flopped today. It's just a little bit of a balance issue, I think, again with this team, which has always been the case over the past couple of years. You have like very good players, but you kind of struggle with the balance. So now, if you want Felipe in, then you have to kind of forego Ali or Morris. And if you want Felipe out, then you have to find a place for Patel, or you make ABD cap wicket keep. So a lot of things for them to think about. And yes, absolutely, you kind of have to see because last over giving it to Dubey, yes, he bowled two good overs, but not in the last over, especially after KL Rahul is in that kind of form. It's hard to give him those kind of overs. Maybe bringing in an Ali, maybe bringing in a Morris will help. I'm sure it will. And I'm pretty sure that change will be a pretty set change. I just have to see how they kind of maybe make EBD keep or whatever. But yeah, after that, it was just at 4 for 3 actually in the run chase. I think they were already out of it.
Were you
I mean, there
surprised
was
that Kohli didn't come one down and came two down instead?
yeah, I just don't understand what that is. I mean, it's your spot.
Big
I mean,
chase. You
number
want your
three.
best batsman playing most
Exactly.
balls. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was just like they try to throw Punjab off by like
Hmm.
maybe they haven't seen too much of Philippe as well. So uh, I don't know. Maybe that was the reasoning behind it. Whatever it was, it just didn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunate, but it is what it is, I guess, right? So yeah, at 4 for 3, I think even though you had Finch and AB still at the crease, it just didn't seem like they would have gone on chase this. And then I think Finch got out 21 for 4, 22 for 4. I think that was it. I mean, even though you have the likes of ABD, it's just become such an impossible chase kind of every game, every over 14, 15 runs just makes it very hard. So um yeah, just they kind of have to go back to the drawing board. They had a first game, and I kept telling anyone who wanted to listen to me as well. It was more Sunrisers loss than an RCB win, even in the first game. Sunrisers kind of toppled and completely colossal collapse in the first one. RCB didn't like snatch it from them or anything. They just they could have easily won that and they lost it. Sunrisers.
Or
So
batting.
yeah, poor batting. So that kind of happened. So Bangalore has some issues, and that's why I expected them not to finish in
Yeah,
the top four
you
even
needed
this
like a
season.
comedy of errors for that game to flip.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
But yeah, so it's just very unfortunate the way I just don't understand what's going on with this Bangalore team. There's a lot of thinking they need to do. Yes, it's one game. Hopefully they come out of this. Hopefully they come out and play better. But and on the flip side, Punjab is looking like a solid team.
yeah. What a disciplined bowling performance. The
Absolutely.
opening bowlers, Shami and Cottrell, bowled beautifully first 2-3 overs, and then the spinners did the job. Like Bishnoi has been I think he's been the player to watch in terms
Yeah.
of the youngsters. He's held his nerve completely, bowling beautifully. I think his first over was a bit like he was bowling down the leg to Finch, some 2-3 nervy balls, but
Yeah.
then like Rahul spoke to him and he bowled beautifully.
Yeah.
Ashwin as well, Murugan Ashwin,
Yeah.
he was effective. Maxwell got a wicket, so I think
Yeah.
overall very disciplined bowling performance. And Shami leading the attack.
Yeah.
He is now probably the best bowler, and he wasn't even considered as a limited overs bowler like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And the way he's worked on his fitness and his white ball bowling is just unbelievable.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm very happy for Shami. He's really worked hard. He's come out of some very personal issues as well. There was a lot going on in his personal life. There was all of that, and then you kind of seemed that he was out of it. But then he really worked on his fitness. He seems so much more leaner, so much more fitter. And of course, he has the placement of the seam position that he has. That what he brings to the team, I think hardly anyone does. With all these slower balls, slower variations, and everyone that kind of like try to hide the ball and stuff like that. But Shami kind of comes in. He holds the seam and he beautiful position of the ball. Like he just really makes the ball do the talking, makes the track do the talking. It's always fun to see that kind of stuff. So very promising Punjab. Maybe they will surprise me. I didn't have them in my top four, but they might just sneak it in, considering that they continue these kind of performances.
I
They
think
look
I
a
had
balanced
them. I'm
side.
not sure, but yeah, they look better than I expected.
Yeah, they look a balanced side. They just need Puran and Maxwell to kind of perform. If the likes of KL and Mayank, fail, there's going to be times when both of them will fail, and that's when like a Puran and Maxwell will have to come through.
Yeah.
I don't understand the fact of having Karun Nair, as he's a little bit more of a um, uh, slower kind of your number 3 kind of player. So if you're not going to play him at 3, I don't think it makes sense to play him at 4 or 5 or 6. So instead, you just have Mandeep maybe come in, Sarfaraz and Mandeep at 5 and 6, and then you kind of have either Jordan and Nisham. They don't have the place for Mujib. I don't know if they're going to be able to find it. Maybe eventually they get.
That's the surprising part.
Maybe eventually, once they figure out like the pitches are really slowing down, they bring in Mujib for Cottrell and then bring in like a Indian bowler for maybe a Morgan Ashwin or something of that sort.
Yeah. Like Nair hit to a couple of boundaries today, but like you said, it takes some time to settle in. So if he's batting at 5 or 6, like you said, yeah, I agree with your point.
Yeah, I think Mandeep he can come in and just go from the ball one, and if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't hit, it's all right.
Yeah, and they should also tinker. Like today, you knew what the situation was. They should have probably put Sarfaraz or Nisham ahead of him. But yeah,
couple of things that they'll obviously learn from. I think newer captain, and he was also in the crease, and maybe they just decided to go with what they did. I mean, it worked out quite nicely, of course, but it's just something to think about. But yeah, Punjab's looking good. But what
both
is your
openers
change?
performing so
First
well.
game Mayank and second game, and both good best of friends. So it's nice to see that they both kind of get
one
the
doesn't
chance
perform, the other one is. So yeah.
So
Sorry,
nice
your question was.
No, I was like, what do you think the changing moment was? Has to be those drop catches.
The first one he ran in. He should have caught that. He ran in too much, and suddenly he was a bit imbalanced and like he misjudged his run. The second one, I don't know. I dropped it.
I did not believe that he dropped it again. Like I was just watching it and I was just like, what is going on? It's just so surprising to see a Virat kind of do that twice in the space of an over almost. Like
he was at deep mid wicket, long on-ish, deep mid wicket in the first one, and then he was in long off. So I didn't think it was him because he was fielding there, right? He dropped on and then we dropped him.
But over changed, right? So he went from mid wicket to kind of just off.
I was shocked. Yeah, I was shocked. Yeah.
But
that's the game-changing moment for me. Yeah,
absolutely has to be. But your man of the match. There's only one
K-
choice, I think.
KL Rahul. KL Rahul.
Absolutely,
Uh,
absolutely,
like,
incredible innings.
yeah, incredible. And like we were talking about the responsibility, captain, keeper, batsman, to perform like that with all that responsibility, it shows that he's there, like he can do it. We still need time to judge his captaincy,
Yeah,
but right now, like that, it's not affecting him. So
yeah,
that's a brilliant sign, and it shows if he can bat like that, man, it'll wonders for Punjab and for India as well. He's just so
absolutely.
talented.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and yeah, he's keeping well as well, batting well. I think he did everything that was needed of him. I mean, yes, he had a big score to chase, and yes, they were 4 for 3, but he still continued to kind of he was backing every time. Like you mentioned, Bishnoi kind of bowled to couple down the leg side, and
And he
came
went and
once and
spoke to.
spoke to him. Those that very leadership quality that looked very nice. I
And
kind of
it's a
like that,
big
I'd say.
thing because not only did he batted the whole innings, 20 overs,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
you're keeping.
yeah,
Okay, fine. That requires a lot of fitness. He's a fit guy.
yeah,
Okay, drains you out physically, but he's fit. But then mentally, like to be aware. Okay, I need to talk to this guy. I need to
yeah.
change the field and everything. And he's doing it. Like
Yeah.
that's like commendable by
Yeah.
on Rahul's part. Yeah.
Yeah, the Dhoni did it for a long time. I feel like KL Rahul is. It's very big boots to fill. I think long way to go, of course, but
Yeah.
in the right direction, of course. Not even close to the likes of the greatness of Dhoni as of right now. But
Yeah.
it really solves a lot of these issues that India has with the wicket keeping situation
Yeah.
and all of that. Now they have they can really consider a Raidu if they needed to,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
KL
and,
can
and
bat.
and if he captains well, it'll be good for the future because after Virat
Yes,
and Rohit, you have somebody
yes,
there in the
yeah,
line. So I think it augurs well for Indian cricket. But
absolutely.
it's not a game changer, but I think a very important part in the second innings because Bangalore's batting is stacked was Shami and Cottrell. Cottrell
In
going
the
for five
first
and a
few
half over
overs,
and
yeah,
Shami going 4.5 in the 3 over
yeah,
spells.
yeah.
So I think that completely put the game
Sure.
in the locker for
Absolutely.
Punjab. Yeah.
100%. 100%. Yep. I think today's game is covered. Moving on. Tomorrow we're
Yeah, we're
gonna be
playing.
no, we're gonna be discussing about.
I
I
caught
was
you
just I
twice.
for a second I just kind of blanked out. I was just thinking
For
his
our
team, but
audience, ladies and gentlemen, he said
go
we
ahead, please.
because tomorrow Chennai, the town where he was born, is playing Delhi Capitals. He did it again. He did
I
this
did
before.
not do anything. I was just like, for a second I blanked out. So I was like, okay, what was the team? So Chennai is playing Delhi. Yes. I what are your thoughts on that? Oh my God, this thing.
Uh, I think Raidu needs to play. I don't know what his update about him is, but I think Chennai need him badly. I think
Mhm.
Delhi are favorites in this game, just from going from their squad on paper. But again, you never know what's going to happen with Chennai under Dhoni. I think Faf is in very good form, so that's a plus point for this
Yeah, yeah.
for Chennai. The spinners I worry a bit because Chawla bowled really well in the first game, but then in the second game he got smashed, and Jadeja is not looking as effective. Uh, in the middle overs, so that's what I worry about for them. But yeah, I think Delhi, sharp team, all the batsmen looking in good form.
Yeah.
Stoinis, middle.
Yeah.
We were talking about that as a weakness for them, the number 6-7 position.
I
But
think
if he can
Stein is
bat like he
totally.
did in the first game, then it's
Yeah.
not an issue at all. So right now they look like a solid unit.
Yeah.
Rabada with the ball, they have some good spinners. Delhi's looking good.
There is some positivity in terms of Ashwin also kind of coming back. I believe he also tweeted saying that he's looking okay. His injury initially he was in pain, but I feel like the scans showed positive results. So he might be, maybe they might just take a game or two more, but I think he's going to be fit in. We will see him in the Delhi Capital jersey soon enough rather than later. So that will be a big plus because his experience in the bowling unit will be in the bowling side will be important. And yes, this is a good Delhi side. Just the likes of Dhawan and Prithvi Shaw need to give them a start. They can't keep, if they can give them a good start, I think that'll be really take off pressure over the middle order. So that's something I'd be interested to see if they can really give them a good start, because every time you see like the likes of KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal today, the moment they give you a good start like that, or for example what Sanju Samson and Steve Smith did for us, then if your top three perform, then you have a good chance of scoring that 200. That puts a lot of pressure on the opposition. So that's kind of what we need to see them do as well. So
Yeah,
that's something I'm looking
and
at.
it'd be also interesting if NGD plays because he got battered in the last game.
Yeah, yeah.
So
They have the likes of the best spinner in my opinion, sitting in the ranks, the Mr. Imran Tahir.
Yeah,
So
they
maybe
can
just a
definitely.
straight swap and just maybe
Yeah,
get rid of one of their faster bowlers and get like a Indian fast bowler, maybe, you know.
yeah,
Sorry, maybe remove Piyush Chawla and bring in a faster bowler just to have that a little bit more balance on your side. But you can definitely try Imran Tahir as your fourth all-round option because
yeah. I
Sam
was
Curran's
shocked he
doing
didn't
well.
play. Yeah,
Yeah, so you kind of continue with Sam Curran and you have Deepak Chahar who's been doing okay. So maybe you try like a Shardul Thakur and then bring in Shardul Thakur and Tahir for Ngidi and maybe Chawla because Chawla also got spanked maybe. But he's a pretty good, pretty solid player. I think Chawla will provide. It was just an off game for him, I think. But either way, if they kind of want to bring the balance in, I think playing Tahir would make sense.
yeah.
So
We saw in the middle
just keep
overs
that.
today as well. It gets a bit slower, so spinners should be effective in Dubai.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think there's gonna be a big game for Shreyas Iyer or Rishabh Pant. I'm
right.
go Yeah, one of these two. Maybe Iyer because today Rahul,
Yeah.
one captain, young Indian captain, and now Iyer as well. I just feel it might be a big game for them, but you never
Right.
know.
Yeah, absolutely. So your player to watch out for Delhi is Iyer,
Yeah, Shreyas Iyer,
and
captain.
then for
Yeah,
Chennai,
for Chennai it will be Faf du Plessis, I
yeah,
think.
he's been in form, so he
Yeah,
can
he's
be
in
in form. Then
form.
yeah, he gave
Either him
away
or
his
Watson need to go big. One of the two need to
yeah
go big
yeah
because that will relieve the pressure of the middle order.
right.
And if Raidu's playing, then he'll also be key. Yeah,
Absolutely. I think Watson showed for a few glimpses of that explosive pass, and then he got out trying to
yeah,
play against the. He tried to hit donk it off the mid wicket that he really likes to do. I think in those kind of slower pitches, you kind of want to go straight. I think a little
yeah.
bit more, and he'll learn from that. He's an experienced campaigner, so I feel like a big knock is coming. I mean, first game he looked a little bit edgy, but I think in the second game, some of the shots went off the middle of the bat. So he if he gets in form, then Chennai again will have that explosiveness in the top order that will always help. And then with
That's what they need definitely.
and Faf and Raidu and then Dhoni with those last few sixes in the end,
Yeah,
just kind of coming into his own. So
yeah. That's what it is. So they have a lot of players who can settle in and then smash it. If somebody like a Watson can go from ball one, that will take a lot of pressure off the middle order for
exactly,
sure.
absolutely, yep.
Yeah.
So I think we've covered it out.
Who's
We
your
will.
player to watch out for?
I'd like to see if Ashwin comes back. I don't know if he is, but if he comes back, he's my key bowler. But if not, then Rabada because Rabada brings that experience. Because you wanna restrict this Chennai side to a smaller total because they have the bowling to kind of worry you. So you want if you're batting first and if you're bowling first, then kind of the other way around. So for me, Rabada or Ashwin in terms of because I'm looking at that side, and then in this side I'm looking at I'm pretty much similar to Watson and Faf kind of going explosive if they want to continue to if they want the wins under their belt, they need one of those two guys to consistently perform for them.
Definitely.
Yep. I think with that, we've wrapped it all up. I will catch you tomorrow after the game.
For sure, man. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Yep. As always, take care. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.